Good afternoon, dudes and dudettes. My name is Mel, and if today, the 25th day of June, is your birthday, allow me to wish you a happy leveling up day. So, one of my favorite pastimes as of late has been listening to almost an excessive amount of Reddit stories. You must take everything with a grain of salt, but also I find that it really allows me to basically kind of put my finger on the pulse of the world to see how things are going, how people's lives are progressing, what areas that we are getting stuck on, and where we kind of need the help the most. One of the things that I do want to address is I fully support the idea of a UBI bill. What is a UBI bill? Universal Basic Income, where no matter how much money you make, no matter where in America that you live, this base amount of money is something that you'll get every single month as long as you are a citizen of America. I'd be happy if everybody could get $500 a month. Why? Because $500 a month really just kind of covers the essentials in life. Food, water, maybe something a little bit extra. And I find that if it is paired then with a zero income housing, so anybody could move into this housing, whether you're displaced from storm, people who are in terrible relationships and are trying to get out, this would be perfect for them because then they can temporarily move into this housing and figure out what their next steps are safely. You don't have to be forced to move in with somebody, and you, a productive member of society who's working and paying your own bills and having your own home, you don't have to invite somebody to come into your home and stay there unless it's like, okay, it's gonna take them like a week to get me into zero income housing. Can you please help me out? Okay, I can do a week. I can do 2 weeks. But, anybody for any reason could get into this housing. Yeah, even if you're making a few million bucks, because the housing is meant to be basic. And I don't think anybody would want to stay there outside of, I got homeless for whatever reason. I feel like no matter what your age, you should also get this benefit. Why? Because then the primary parent is going to be the one who gets access to that child's assets, Yes, we have to do things that prove that somebody is still around. They have to be seen by a person at least once a year, preferably a doctor who can sign off on their medical care and everything like that. But and I realize that there will, without a doubt, be people who abuse that system. I would rather that be the case than somebody going without that help. I would rather somebody be able to have access to that care than deny everyone that care. I also feel like hospitals need to be completely non-profit, no profit. A hospital should not be making money. A hospital is there to help people. It should, in fact, be a money pit, because nobody who is sick and in need of help should be forced to go into poverty to cover their health care. People are like, oh, well, how would you pay for this? Well, I feel like if somebody is making over $1 million, perhaps they should, in fact, be taxed higher. Okay, I've heard an argument for removing minimum wage. And I tell you what, I'll agree to it. There's a flip side to that, though. Maximum wage. If you are a business owner, you cannot pay your people under a certain percentage of what you make. Why? Because the people working are the ones who are building you up, making your business work, making it viable. Without them, your business doesn't work. So you want to get rid of minimum wage? Fine. Maximum wage. I'd like to have both, but let's just kind of flip the script a little bit. I I know it's not perfect. It's not going to save everything. We need a lot of things to happen in order for a program like this to both exist and work. Part of that would be a restructuring of our tax system, which is something we desperately need, because taxation without representation is theft. I think that the best way that we can be represented is to have a breakdown of where is my money going? What percentage goes to pay my governor, my president, the people in government? What percentage of my money that I'm paying goes to that? What percentage goes towards paying for infrastructure? So roads, plumbing, electricity, what part of my money is going to the military, to hospitals, to schools? I want to know. And I think that would open up a whole lot of eyes on what's going on. So I know these things are kind of controversial, but I hope that I've expressed them in a way that is meaningful and that you can come back and give me feedback. Let me know what you think. Do you think it would be worth it? Do you think that this is the worst idea since orange Cheeto dust tanning lotion? I hope you take some time to mull it over, to think it through, but you decide where you sit with those issues. I think it would be important to do because it would help get our homeless population up and off of the streets. It would reduce the amount of people who are on corners begging for money. It would give people a place to stay, be safe, to hopefully get themselves back on their feet. I feel like zero-income housing and the UBI bill go hand in hand with basically raising the floor of America, giving us a base from which to work off of. But let me know what you think below. I hope that you have a wonderful day. Bye. All of the airplanes today. And God, get out of my ear. Oh my God, I'm getting it. Oh my God, they're so bad. They're so bad. Good. Getting it. Thank you. Have a good one. And decide where you fit on those ideas. Have a good one.